In a small village nestled between the rolling hills and dense forests of Africa, there lived a humble couple, Amadi and Asha. They were known far and wide for their kindness and generosity, despite their modest means. One starry night, under the light of a full moon, Asha gave birth to twin boys. The villagers gathered around their hut, eager to welcome the new members of the community. The first twin, born just moments before midnight, was named Kato. He had a bright, curious gaze and a calm demeanor. The second twin, Kamau, arrived shortly after, with a wail that echoed through the night. His eyes sparkled with a fierce intensity. The twins were identical in appearance but different in nature, a fact that did not go unnoticed by their parents and the villagers. From the moment they were born, it was clear that Kato and Kamal were destined for different paths. Kato was gentle and compassionate, often found helping his mother with chores or tending to the needs of others. Kamal, on the other hand, was ambitious and driven, always seeking ways to improve his situation. He would spend hours watching the merchants and traders who passed through the village, fascinated by their tales of wealth and adventure. As the boys grew, their differences became more pronounced. Kato was content with the simple life of the village, finding joy in the beauty of nature and the company of his family and friends. Kamau, however, longed for more. He dreamed of riches and power, and he was determined to achieve them, no matter the cost. One day, an old seer visited the village. She was known for her wisdom and her ability to see into the future. Amadi and Asha, curious about the destinies of their sons, asked the seer to read their fortunes. The seer looked into her crystal ball and saw two very different futures for the twins. Kato, she said, will live a life of contentment and peace. Though he may not have great wealth, his heart will be rich with love and joy. She then turned to Kamal. Kamal's path will be filled with challenges and trials. He will amass great wealth, but it will come at a great cost. He must choose his actions wisely, for his decisions will shape not only his future but the future of many others. The seer's words weighed heavily on Amadi and Asha. They loved both their sons deeply and wished for them to be happy. They knew that they could not change their destinies, but they hoped that Kato and Kamal would make wise choices and stay true to themselves. As Kato and Kamal grew into young men, their paths began to diverge more sharply. Kato remained close to home, working alongside his father and helping the villagers. He learned the art of farming, weaving, and hunting, mastering the skills needed to sustain their simple lifestyle. Kato's gentle nature and willingness to help others made him beloved by all. He found joy in the small things, watching the sunrise, listening to the birds sing, and sharing stories around the evening fire. Kamal, however, grew restless. The village felt too small for his grand ambitions. He longed to explore the world beyond the hills and forests. One day, after much contemplation, Kamal announced his decision to leave the village in search of fortune and adventure. His parents were saddened but understood his desire to forge his own path. They gave him their blessings and a small pouch of coins, everything they could spare. Kamal's departure was a momentous event for the village. The villagers gathered to bid him farewell, offering their prayers and best wishes. Kato, though saddened by his brother's departure, understood Kamal's need to seek his destiny. He embraced his brother tightly, whispering words of encouragement and hope. Kamal journeyed far and wide, encountering many challenges and opportunities along the way. He worked as a trader, a laborer, and even a mercenary. His sharp mind and unwavering determination helped him amass a small fortune. Yet, despite his growing wealth, Kamal often found himself feeling empty and alone. He missed the warmth of his family and the simple joys of village life. Meanwhile, back in the village, Kato continued to live a life of contentment. He married a kind and loving woman named Nia, and together they built a happy home. Kato's heart was filled with love and joy, just as the seer had predicted. He found fulfillment in helping others and nurturing the land, creating a life rich in meaning and purpose. Years passed, and Kamal's wealth grew. He acquired vast lands, built grand houses, and accumulated treasures from far-off lands. Yet, the more he acquired, the more he felt something was missing. Kamal's relentless pursuit of wealth had cost him dearly. He had lost touch with the values his parents had instilled in him, and he had sacrificed relationships and happiness along the way. One day, after many years of absence, Kamal decided to return to his village. He longed to see his family and reconnect with his roots. He arrived in the village with a grand entourage, riding in a richly decorated carriage. The villagers were astonished to see Kamal's transformation. He was no longer the young, ambitious boy they once knew. He had become a wealthy and powerful man. Kamal's return was met with mixed emotions. While some villagers admired his success, others were wary of the changes they saw in him. Kato, ever the kind-hearted brother, welcomed Kamal with open arms. He introduced Kamal to his wife Nia and their children. Kamal was deeply moved by the warmth and simplicity of Kato's home. Despite his wealth, he realized that he had missed out on the most important things in life: family, love, and contentment. Over the next few days, Kamal spent time with his family, sharing stories of his adventures and listening to tales of village life. He was particularly touched by Kato's unwavering happiness and the love that surrounded him. Kamal began to see the true value of what he had left behind. One evening, as the family gathered around the fire, Kamal opened up about his feelings. "I have gained great wealth and power," he said, "but it has come at a great cost. I have lost touch with who I am and what truly matters. I envy the happiness and peace you have found, Kato. I wish I could find the same." Kato looked at his brother with compassion. "We all have our own paths, Kamal. Wealth and power are not inherently bad, but they must be balanced with love, kindness, and contentment. You have the power to change your path and find the happiness you seek. It is never too late." Kamal took his brother's words to heart. He decided to stay in the village for a while, to reconnect with his family and the land. He helped Kato with the farming and learned to appreciate the simple pleasures of village life. Slowly, Kamal began to find a sense of peace and fulfillment that he had never known before. As Kamal settled back into village life, he faced a new challenge: the test of brotherhood. One day, a severe drought struck the village, threatening the crops and the livelihoods of the villagers. The once fertile land became dry and barren, and the rivers ran low. The villagers, who had always relied on the abundance of nature, were now in a state of panic. Kato, ever the selfless leader, worked tirelessly to find solutions. He organized the villagers to dig wells and conserve water, but it was clear that their efforts might not be enough. Seeing his brother's struggle, Kamal felt a deep sense of responsibility. He realized that his wealth could make a difference in the lives of his people. Kamal called a meeting with the village elders and proposed a plan. He offered to use his wealth to buy water and supplies from neighboring regions. He also suggested investing in long-term solutions, such as building reservoirs and irrigation systems. The elders were initially skeptical, but Kato vouched for his brother's sincerity and commitment. With the villagers' support, Kamal set his plan into motion. He traveled to nearby towns, negotiating deals and securing the necessary resources. His business acumen and determination paid off. Soon, caravans of water and supplies arrived in the village, providing much-needed relief. Kamal's efforts not only saved the villagers from the immediate crisis, but also helped build a more resilient community. Through this experience, Kamal learned the true value of his wealth. It was not the riches themselves that brought happiness, but the ability to use them for the greater good. He felt a renewed sense of purpose and a deeper connection to his family and the village. Kato, proud of his brother's transformation, embraced him warmly. "You have shown great courage and generosity, Kamal. Together we can achieve much more than we ever could alone." Kamal smiled, feeling a sense of fulfillment he had never known before. He realized that the bond of brotherhood was stronger than any wealth or power. It was a lesson he would carry with him for the rest of his life. With the crisis behind them, the village thrived once again. The bond between Kato and Kamal grew stronger, and their unity inspired the villagers. They worked together to build a better future, with a renewed sense of purpose and community. Kamal invested in various projects to improve the village's infrastructure, while Kato continued to lead with his wisdom and compassion. Kamal's experience had changed him profoundly. He no longer sought wealth for its own sake, but used it to uplift others. He established a school to educate the village children, ensuring that future generations would have the knowledge and skills to thrive. He also created a fund to support the needy, ensuring that no one in the village would suffer, as he had seen in his travels. Kato and Nia's home became a center of joy and learning. The children, inspired by their parents' example, grew up with a strong sense of community and responsibility. They learned that true wealth lay in the relationships they nurtured and the good they could do for others. One day, as the village celebrated a bountiful harvest, Kamau addressed the gathered crowd. "I have traveled far and seen much, but the greatest lesson I have learned is here, among you. Wealth and power mean nothing without love, compassion, and unity. Together we can achieve greatness and ensure a bright future for our children and their children." The villagers cheered, their hearts filled with pride and gratitude. They knew that the legacy of unity and brotherhood would endure, thanks to the wisdom and generosity of Kato and Kamau. Years passed, and Kato and Kamau grew old. They had witnessed many changes in their village and in themselves. Their children and grandchildren carried on their legacy, building a community founded on love, compassion, and unity. The village flourished, becoming a beacon of hope and prosperity in the region. Kato and Kamau spent their twilight years sharing stories and wisdom with the younger generations. They often reflected on their journeys, the challenges they had faced, and the lessons they had learned. They were proud of what they had achieved and the legacy they were leaving behind. One evening, as the sun set over the hills, Kato and Kamau sat together by the fire, their hearts filled with contentment. Kamau turned to his brother and said, "Thank you, Kato, for showing me the true meaning of wealth and happiness. I could not have found my way without you." Kato smiled, his eyes twinkling with warmth. "And I am grateful for your courage and determination, Kamal. Together we have built something beautiful. Our bond is eternal, and our legacy will live on in the hearts of our people." As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, the brothers sat in peaceful silence, knowing that their journey had come full circle. They had found not only their destinies but also the true meaning of brotherhood and unity. Their story would be told for generations, a reminder that love, compassion, and unity are the greatest treasures of all. There are a lot of lessons to be learned from this story. I would love to hear your opinion in comment section. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like, share, and press the red button to subscribe to my channel. Bye.